Okay guys, Kian here, and welcome to your weekly DashGL update. Okay, so hi everyone. This week's DashGL update is probably going to be shorter and suckier than most of the other updates, but that might be pushing a little bit. I got sick this week. My kids got sick this week, so I'm working with a little bit more limited schedule, but we're not dead, so that's always a thing. So kind of picking up from last week is I kind of talked about how with the frame buffer, sometimes you can get lucky with the correct image and palette, creating the right texture and then mapping to the mapping to the model correctly. But in the case of Mega Man Legends, a lot of time that doesn't happen. You're not so lucky, and things don't work out. So this is one of the few that do. But I think eventually, not eventually, as we discovered that very few of them actually work out, and we're gonna need to start searching through the textures and finding which image is correct and which palette is correct, and giving surfacing the ability to do that in the controls or in the user interface. So on the right hand side here, I've created a side panel with tabs, and so basically what each one of the tabs does is, in this case we've got three textures, and which are basically, each texture is a unique texture or as an image palette combination. So in the case, two of these textures are for the body and it's the same image but it's mapping a different palette, and then the third is for the face and that's mapping a different image. And so that's what's going on here. And so the idea is this one works out correctly, but the idea is that, like, say for instance, we need to find which face needs to be used and which palette needs to be used. What we do is we show the images of which images are in the frame buffer at this position, and then if you click on a palette, we will swap out the palette for that image, and then we need to update the model to use that palette, and then save that combination to the browser, so the next time you load the image or you load the model, it'll be stored. So a couple things that I'm running into, a couple of issues that I'm running into here is that first we want to have unique images and unique palettes here. So here we've got this image, a different image, and then the same image again. This is kind of redundant. We kind of want to do a check to say that are there duplicate images only showing one image, and then same thing for palettes. We've got a lot of duplicate palettes here, which doesn't really help anyone, so we want to do the same thing there. Is, are there any duplicate palettes? Throw out if there are any duplicates. We're also going to need to have a thing where if we click on something, we're going to want to save that every time we do it, and we're going to have to update the model when we do it. And so right now, clicking and loading the model is done in this component over here. What we're going to want to do is click this component here to load the asset, bring the asset over here, and start moving the load and do things logic over into a different place. We're probably also going to want to show the same X and Y frame buffer, and that kind of, the functionality here kind of duplicates what we have over here. I'm not sure if we want to include palettes in this. I'm kind of tempted to just throw away palettes and just say, hey, we've got these kind of images if you need to know where the images are, because palettes are kind of captured that, you know, here's a list of images for what you can expect and find in each stage file, and here's you know, here's where they are, so you can be able to browse the images. I'm not how sure useful the palettes are of putting them over here, so I might take the palettes out here because they're going to be in here. And then we might also want to have the file names over here to say if this is stage 2 or stage 201 or whatever. if that gives any hints for where palettes and textures are stored. And then this up and down thing isn't really working. What I might do is make this larger and then have images on the left and have palettes on the right, and then still kind of have the same layout for that. And if I do that, I'm probably going to want to make this part here slimmer. So yeah, I think that about covers it for what we're looking in terms of updates and textures and stuff like that. This is just going to be an in-between thing, an ongoing process of just me ranting about how much I hate frame buffers, making small improvements, and kind of just making incremental updates over the next month or so. So this is the last update for February. Probably over March. Just keep on ranting, fixing, incrementing, looking at it, ranting, fixing, incrementing. There's other small things, other small details that I'm gonna need to fix, like here when a texture is 64 by 64, it could be top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. So I'm gonna have to go through and update that as well. So yeah, just a lot of quirks when it comes to textures, palettes, frame buffers, and how to manage them. That's it. It's 5 a.m. Jessica's waking up. I'm gonna have to peace on out of here before she wakes up and yells at me. So that's it. And I guess Keon signing out. See you next week. Just a small crappy episode. So see you guys. Bye.